At-home workouts, 23 minutes a day. Food freedom. Get the results you deserve. Let's go.
What?
I don't believe that.
Wow. We have seen a lot of insane Karen activity over the years of my channel, but honestly, this might be a case of one of the worst ones that I have ever seen. It starts off on the porch of a real estate developer named Mike Jenkins, and with a doorbell camera that goes viral, and a woman who is the CEO of a fitness company. Let's just get into it.
Karma's a bitch. Queen of Karma.
Ohio woman accused of racial profiling apologizes after confronting Black homeowner at his doorstep. I don't believe you. This case is absolutely insane. An incident in an affluent Ohio neighborhood has ignited a firestorm of controversy after a viral video showed a white woman, later identified as Michelle Bishop, accusing a Black man of not belonging at his own home. The footage, captured on a Ring doorbell camera and widely shared on social media, it went viral, has drawn accusations of racial profiling, sparking widespread debate on biases and community dynamics in America. The video, initially posted on X, shows Bishop standing on the porch of Mike Jenkins, a Black real estate developer, alongside her 2 young children. According to Jenkins, he had just pulled into his driveway when Bishop confronted him, questioning whether he lived there. In the clip, Bishop can be heard telling Jenkins, "I don't believe you," before hastily leaving with her children. Yeah, I guess that's one way of describing it.
We need you.
Wow, with the kids, like, oh.
What's going on?
Why are you even there?
Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do?
Papa.
I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that.
Okay, that's nice.
Rory, come on. Rory, come on.
You're leaving your stroller behind, lady. Okay. Wow.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here. And she had kids.
Who chased her?
Somebody in a silver truck.
Gray truck. And
Should we be running?
And I was in the street, and so I have my kids, and so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope," and then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there's a lady screaming. And I'm like, that's.
She got all worried that she
Wow.
How?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How did he scare you though?
I
Oh
just
my
seen her in the
God.
driveway and I was like, "Are you looking for somebody?" Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway too. And I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
Well, I'm sorry.
All right, sorry.
What? She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
No, you came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here,
Yeah.
and I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand.
Wow.
Being by myself with 2 kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, "Oh, it scared me," and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, "This could be his house," but you didn't say, "This is my home." You just said, "Are you looking?" And I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, "Did I live?"
Wait, is he supposed to get out of his car in his own driveway and announce it's his home every time he gets out of the car? Also, the wife is the star of this show to me because she comes out like, what was she running away from? Like, should we start running? Is somebody coming? In the meantime, her poor husband's standing there outside his car like, oh, fucking no.
I said, "Yeah,"
And you said, no, you don't.
and you said, "I don't think you do."
Yeah, you literally said that you didn't believe them, which I'm like, okay, that's nice, but that doesn't change the fact that it's his house. And the conversation after this went viral was, why did she not believe him?
It was obviously you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like I'm pulling in my, it's like I'm pulling in my house. Like this is not this neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry.
Right?
I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby, go in the house. Let's go.
Sorry.
You told me that I didn't. You said you didn't think I lived here.
It was the way that you were talking.
You literally ran away screaming for help. Like, as if somebody was chasing you with a chainsaw down the street. That is the kind of reaction you would have to something like that. This man just pulled into his own driveway. Like, that's his crime, is he pulled into his own driveway. You're on his porch. Bitch, you're the one trespassing right now, not him. What the hell?
I was so
Are you
sorry.
serious?
I'm so sorry.
Bitch, bye. Like, I don't even know if it's worth trying to explain it to someone like that. This incident has since gone viral, with countless social media users condemning Bishop's actions. Good. One comment on X summarized the general sentiment. The man was pulling into his own home without any threatening words, body language, or gestures. She assumed he was out of place because he is black. If you pull into your driveway and someone's on your front porch, you're going to ask, can I help you? Or are you looking for someone? Because it's your house and they're on your porch. There was nothing threatening about how he did that at all. Very normal. Bishop claims the confrontation stemmed from fear, not racial bias. In her explanation, she described how she became suspicious when she noticed Jenkins' car driving slowly down the road, a behavior she misinterpreted as someone following her. Feeling uneasy, she walked to the nearest occupied home to seek safety, which happened to be Jenkins's property. Talk about shit luck, huh? When Jenkins approached and explained that it was his house, Bishop responded with disbelief. In her follow-up apology video, Bishop stated, I never thought it was a black man. I thought it was a white man in that truck. He didn't run away till after he got out of the truck, though, but sure, lady. She went on to claim that the lighting conditions made it difficult to see Jenkins' race. But why were you looking for his race? I don't understand people that, like, look for that. I don't, like... Why would his race matter in that situation? I mean, if you actually felt threatened, it wouldn't matter, right? Like, I don't. Critics, however, have dismissed this explanation as deflection. After the video went viral, which is when she apologized, Bishop faced intense backlash online. Comments on platforms like X and Reddit described her behavior as emblematic of racial profiling, with one Reddit user remarking, the moment she said, I don't believe you, it turned into a 100% racist moment. Yeah, fair. If the guy had been white, she would have believed him. It does make me wonder as the viewer, because I can't see who she's talking to. And all I'm wondering in that moment when I'm watching it as a third party is, why don't you believe him? Like, if it wasn't his house, why would he pull up and say, like, what happened to this girl? Who hurt her? Why is she so paranoid and running around thinking everyone's out to get her? Another commented, this is how people of color get shot by police. White people yelling for help when they should just mind their own business. See, like, that's the thing, is that this could have had a completely different ending. And that's the scary part about this. Under pressure, Bishop released a series of emotional apology videos on X. Fighting back tears, she attempted to clarify her actions. So this here is Michelle Bishop, our woman of the hour. As you can see, she is the founder and head coach of the Ladies Edge and claims to be CEO as well. This is the Ladies Edge. It is basically a workout coaching. It's kind of like a beach body where they're doing like fitness coaching. It says here, ditch the dreadful meal plan. The Ladies Edge is a sisterhood of women who are on a mission to live life to the fullest, founded by head coach Michelle Bishop. We have chosen to delete our calorie counting apps, burn our meal plans, and learn the truths about food that has set us free from the bondage of a plan forever while working out for only 23 minutes per day. We have learned
learned to make peace with ourselves, both physically and mentally, and have finally found the fierce confidence we've always longed for.
So you can get a 14-day free trial, and you get 5 new workouts a week, bonus Saturday live workout, 40 PLE kickstart workouts. And you pay $37 a month for this membership, and you get access to a bunch of different types of workouts and even behind the scenes Zooms with Michelle herself. And she runs all of these fitness workout programs to teach people how to lose weight.
Real people, real results. Sound familiar? At home workouts, 23 minutes a day. Food freedom. Get the results you deserve. Let's go.
And these are the coaches. So that is the business that she runs. Maybe we'll dive deeper into it in the future. But Michelle has released a few videos.
Hello, everybody here on Facebook. I'll give it a quick second for any of you guys that want to jump on. But I just want to come on here and address what's going around right now because it's pretty messy.
Okay.
And yeah, I think there's a massive misunderstanding. And now I believe that there is an agenda that's being pushed, and my heart is crushed. So,
Wow.
waiting for you guys to pop on. Okay. I just went live on my Instagram. So if you guys jumping on, I'm just sharing the same thing here too as well. I unfortunately have had to make all of my Instagram accounts, our business accounts, private because we are being really harshly attacked over there, as well as in our direct messages, to the point of now me getting personal text messages, call me a racist pig, and more. So
yeah,
yeah, we're being told to watch our back and all the things.
Well, Michelle, maybe if you weren't being a racist pig, then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
So I want to jump on here because my Facebook is public, and for those of you guys who are telling me that I owe a public apology, one, I will not apologize for making any sort of racist remark. I am the furthest thing from a racist. I will, however, apologize that my expression could ever come across in such a way, or that somebody could think something of that nature of myself and my family. So long story short, I need to give the context because there's a lot of y'all who are, I'm sure, coming to my page right now not knowing. JB's coming down, hold on. Hi, I'm live.
Should have done a video, chick. This is not it.
Yeah. I love you. Yeah, I love you. He's so sweet. I love you. I love you more. Truly want to make sure that I posture my heart in the right way and represent everything that happened in the most genuine and authentic way. And so, long story short, November 19th kind of has caused a train wreck. And if I could say exactly what I think it is, I believe that it's a massive misunderstanding. I really do. But I just want to come on and share my point of view and my story behind it all. And for those of you guys who know me, I pray that you guys truly know who we are and the people that we are. I've been posting my whole story for over a decade, and I really do believe that a lot of y'all know exactly who we are to be true. But November 19th, so long story short, it's not a short story, but I'm just going to give it to you guys all. Rory and I, a few nights prior, went on a run, and it was wonderful. If you guys didn't know, my dad and I grew up running together, so it was very special and sweet. So we were out running, Christmas lights were turning on. It was beautiful. I remember posting on my Instagram like a video of her running, and I wrote on it something, I quoted her of just like, "This is such a great night, mommy, I love you," or whatever. So she was like, "Can we do this again?" So a couple nights later, we went out. John, it was like we were just at daybreak. It was starting to get dark out. And
Wait,
John,
why do we have to set up a whole story and like know what you were doing in the prior days? That makes no sense to me. That's not what we're talking about. It doesn't matter why you went out and etc. It matters that you saw a black man, told him that he didn't live at his house, and then ran away screaming for help. What?
I don't believe that.
Because you're racist. Like, I don't know why we have a whole setup where you're telling us about how people wanted to go for walks with you. Lady, nobody cares.
Had told us in the garage as I was getting the stroller out and buckling up my son, who's 2, in the stroller. He was like, be quick. Don't be out long. It's getting dark, and that's just how he is. I'm getting a lot of text, y'all, so I'm so sorry if I seem to be scattered.
Oh my God.
So Rory, Cash, and I went out and we were cruising. The sun started to set, and John Bishop is always somebody who is always instilling, whether I'm at the gas pump, whether I'm in the grocery store. I am one. I'm oblivious to a lot. I hate to use the word or term ditzy, but I just think the best of the world. So I say hi to everybody. Literally.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
Everybody's my best friend.
What?
Okay. So he wore me.
You know how someone's guilty when they have to talk for hours and hours and hours to paint themselves as a good person before they apologize for the bad thing they did? Like, I don't know what this is. This is ridiculous. They're taking out the ukulele.
Hey, be quick. And he's always telling me not to talk to people.
Lord.
So I went out and we're jogging, and I was on the back end of the neighborhood. That's newer construction, and it's dark. There's not many lights back there. A lot of new builds, not homes that are established. And so I'm turning, and I kept telling Rory, she's like wanting to stop, and I'm like, this isn't an area to stop. Like, let's get through to the main part of the neighborhood. So we got our Christmas music on, and we're jogging, and we're turning the circle, and I can see down our main drag, and I see car lights. And so Mom sensor, I was just like, car.
So then you were on the main street. So then it doesn't matter that there was a construction and it's not an area to stop where you were before, because you just said you made it onto the main street before you even noticed this person's vehicle. Maybe you shouldn't talk so much because you're making it worse.
There weren't many cars out, and I just saw those headlights. Just random thought. I was like, car.
Very good.
And so
this just in, if you see headlights, it's a car.
As we're running, I see the headlights behind me. And so I, like any of us have been taught, I think a lot of women have been taught, hey, if you ever, feel unsafe or you feel cars approaching, go to the closest house that is nearby and just pretend that it's yours.
You're jogging down your sidewalk on a road. You said the main road. Why would it be weird that there's headlights in a car coming down the main road? What?
So that's exactly what I did. I see headlights. I don't even look to see what the car looks like. I just see headlights behind me, and I'm like, I got to get us off the street.
Yeah, it wasn't the car that you saw. It was him when he pulled in his driveway and started to get out of his vehicle, right?
Didn't even think much of it. So I take my stroller, and I get in the grass and go on the sidewalk, and the car starts to slow behind us. And which I was like, okay, he's slowing down. So I'm walking forward, and I tell Rory, hey, turn here. And so she turns, and I said, don't look back, but just turn here. And so she has no idea, what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, but she's walking up the sidewalk. And so the car continues to.
Nobody's blaming your child for this. Don't even imply it.
I'm not looking backwards, but then I hear words say, can I help you with something? And
yeah. When you're at somebody else's house on their porch and you hear a voice say, can I help you with something? Why are you shocked and surprised and scared again? That makes no sense. If it was your own house that you had walked up to, yeah, sure, maybe then you'd wonder why there's a stranger there. But you're the stranger at the house. You're approaching somebody else's house. Like, I don't understand.
It wasn't super friendly. It was, and I get it. Like, what are you doing? Like, can I help you with something? And I was like, oh my gosh, why is this person talking to me? Like, why is he at the bottom of the thing talking to me? And so I don't respond. And then I keep walking, and I push the jogger. The garage doors were open. The gates were open to the garage. And I remember thinking, praise God, somebody's home. Praise God, somebody's home. And by this time I'm like, can you just drive away? Like, this is my house. And so I push my buggy up into the door just a little bit, and he says, can I help you with something? And I said, nope. And then I take my stroller and I start walking.
And you didn't think that was weird? You didn't like clue in that maybe he was pulling into his driveway and you were at his house, and that's why he was asking you like what you were doing there? Like
Walking up the sidewalk to the front door. And I remember telling Roy, I'm like, hey, go. So I'm like, now walking down and I'm turning up this driveway and it says, are you looking for someone? And at this point, he's like further by the driveway. And I said, no. And
so he's further by the driveway. Do you mean out of his vehicle now, walking towards his house? What do you mean? Because it's very apparent that you've conversed with him enough at this point that you've realized what race he is. Yet you go running after. Like you brought up, oh, I didn't know what race he was when I saw the truck. Okay, fine. But that's not when you ran screaming, yelling, help.
he said a second time, are you looking for someone? And so it was becoming a little more stern. And I said, no. And so I'm taking the baby jogger and I am pushing it up the stairs. There's like a couple stairs to get up. So I awkwardly am pushing my jogger up these steps.
What are you talking
and
about?
At this point,
we literally watched it. You were standing there on your phone.
Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do?
Papa.
I don't believe that.
Scrolling on your phone when he asked the last time. Like, what do you mean? You're already up on this. Like, we watched it.
I backed halfway into the driveway. And so I'm sitting there and I try to keep my cool. I try to keep my calm. You can literally on a video see me heavy breathing in the Ring doorbell.
Oh my God.
And Rory rings
That's
the
not what
doorbell
I see.
and nobody answers. And so I step back and I said, is this your home? And remember, it's dark. The street's not lit well and I cannot see him well. And he goes, yes. And I said, I don't believe that it is. And he says, this is my house. And I said, I don't think that it is.
Why? Why? He was heading towards it when you saw him because you were heading towards his house and you said he pulled up with the headlights behind you. You then go to his house. So he's like, what's this bitch doing? Pulls into the driveway. Obviously, he got out and said, can I help you with something? Because he's about to walk into his house. So you want me to believe this whole conversation happened while he was sitting in the car and you couldn't see him in the dark? Like no. At that point, you knew who he was. You had gone back and forth a few times. And if he says, this is my house, be like, oh, okay, sorry. I was soliciting. Never mind. It's okay. Have a good night. And then just go on your way. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
And at that point, the only reason that I said that was because truly the awkward encounter of slowing up behind me, talking to us multiple times. I'm in this frantic state. It's late at night. I got my kids, my two babies.
At somebody else's house. And then for some reason, you're not cluing in that you're the one at somebody else's house. So you don't have the right to grandstand on whose house it is. You don't have a fucking clue. So why are you standing on some porch that isn't yours with your kids going, I don't believe this is your house? What made you not believe that? You have nothing in this story that has made me believe. It's not like you saw him coming out of another house across the street before he pulled up. Like, there's nothing. So obviously you were just judging him based on what? How his voice sounded, how he looked. Go on, do tell us.
Lady at the door is not answering. There's no other homes that are well established. I mean, there's construction. It's a corner house. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on the front porch. This truck literally is halfway up the driveway. And I was like, my radar was like, nope, I don't think that this is your house. And so I said, I don't believe that this is your house. And so I'm starting to unbuckle Cash and I grab and I freak. I go, Rory, run. And so I take off the porch and I literally.
Like, do you think that you're just such a gorgeous girl that like any man is going to drive by and be like, I want her, even though she's with her kids, and then pull up on you? What is your reason for running in this moment and screaming for help? Like, how are you in any danger? Are you one of those freaks that just think that any man that's not your husband wants to rape you? Like, what is wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Lord.
Run as fast as I can, screaming at the top of my lung. I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry. Screaming at the top of my lung. I've never ever.
And this is coming from someone, by the way, with actual CPTSD from abuse. And I don't go running around screaming because I have to take elevators all the time. I was sexually assaulted in my elevator. I gotta take an elevator all the time. Sometimes a guy comes in the elevator with me. Should I be screaming help and leaving the elevator every time a man walks into the elevator with me? No, that would be insane. You don't even have any like background that you've given here to explain why you would be scared of this man. Other than, well, I was a woman and he was in the driveway. Yeah, of a house that's not yours and you don't know who lives there. So like it makes no sense.
Screamed the way that I screamed. And I'm running through the front yards of everybody.
Also, like the amount of details in this. Have you ever heard that if the memory is too detailed, then it probably didn't happen? Usually people that are telling the truth, when they retell a story, little things might change. Okay, and that's because your recall is not going to remember every single little detail of every single part. And so if you're able to days later sit down like this and give me a play-by-play of every single motion made and what everyone was wearing and all the exact words said, I can't help but wonder if it's a made-up story that you're telling me right now. And that's why you're throwing in all these details. People tend to throw in extra details that nobody cares about when they're lying because they're trying to get out of the lie. So the whole time they're thinking in their head, what do I need to explain away? And sometimes they explain away things that like you're not even thinking of accusing them of, you know? And then you're like, wait, why are you giving me details on this? Police officers use this tactic all the time in interrogations to figure out if the perp is lying. And you've sat down and given me a whole story. I know what you were doing the day before. I wonder if you're telling me what you ate for lunch the day after at the end of this. Like, what is this?
Praying that the Ring doorbell
Is this what happens when a wordsmith is racist?
would capture us. Finally, to get to a woman's house, I'm banging on the door. And at this point, I'm dialing 911. And I said, can I please come in? And the woman said, yes, come in. And so I'm staying there. I'm talking to the sheriff. And I, more than anything, I was
You called the police?
not looking for him to come to my rescue at this point. My husband was going to come. I'm in this woman's house. The door is closed. And I tell the man, and he said, do I need to come out? And I just said, no. I said, I was just calling to let you know that this just happened. My husband's going to come get me. And, he says, he asked me if I want him to come out. And I said, no. And so the woman then I was at her house. She literally asked.
So you thought you were in danger to the point where you had to run away and then go to another stranger's house, which by the way, when I'm in danger, I definitely, instead of going home, since your home's obviously in walking distance, right? I definitely run to a stranger's house instead of running back home. I really love to see a stranger when I'm running away from another stranger that I'm apparently horrified of enough to yell and scream for help. You think that you're in immediate danger to the point you have to go to a stranger's house and you call the police, get the sheriff, and he says, do you want me to go out there? And you say, no. Your husband is going to come get you. Is he like Superman? Like what is he going to come save you from this person that's allegedly making you fear for your life? Because I heard that help scream. That wasn't like a help. That was like a help. Like you were acting like somebody was actually trying to murder you. And really, it was a guy that just pulled into his own driveway and was wondering why the fuck you were on his porch. And instead of just being like, yeah, that was fucking stupid. I'm a complete moron. You maybe thrown in, I promise it wasn't racism or some bullshit, and then just left it at that. More people probably would have accepted it from you. But I don't know, this is ridiculous.
And said, she said, I don't know how to ask this. She goes, but was it a black man? Because she goes, it's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I believe that this is a white man. He was a white man in a truck, a young white man is what I said. And she said, okay. She goes, because that's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I don't think that it was a black man. And then when my husband got there, I stood out front and we're.
Oh yeah? That's the conversation that happened, was it? Yeah, no, that sounds totally legit.
Still trying to get the Ring doorbell footage of me talking to my husband. But he asked me again, he said, what house was it? And I said, it was this house right here. And he goes, are you sure it wasn't a black guy? He goes, because that's a black family. And I said, no, I don't believe that it was a black man. And so we get in the car and we go to pick up the stroller. And I've said this a million times, I have never felt the fear that I had even just pulling up in front of the house when John opened the door to get out of the truck. The amount of I've never went into like fight or flight like that before. And so he gets out of the car and he goes up to the woman's house, and a woman comes out onto the front porch and she says something along the lines like, did you forget something or did you leave something? And John laughs and he's like, yes, we did. I'm so sorry. And I get out of the car and I walk up to the woman, and I could not tell her fast enough what had happened. She walks out on the porch and I jump out of the car and I said, I said, oh my gosh, yes, there was a man. And John was the one that said a man was following her, chasing her, following her is what I said. I used the word chasing, following me. And, so she said, I jumped out of the car and I said, I'm so sorry. I said, literally, I was pretending that your house was my house. I was walking up the driveway, and then I was like turning in. I was pretending that it was yours. And she goes, yeah, that was my husband. And so he ends up coming out and he's like, I told you this was my house. And at that point, I literally started, I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I am so sorry. And I told him, I said, sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. And then, I said, this is your house. That was my words. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, this is your house. I said, I truly
Lock this lady up. She's just loony. She's crazy. I'm almost getting so fed up of listening to this.
kept thinking like, maybe this is his house. Maybe this is his house. And he says, well, I told you this was your house. And I said, you have to understand. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was such an awkward encounter. I said, the truck was like starting to slow behind me. And I'm out here with my
Bitch, it was awkward because you went up to his porch. Like, you're the problem.
little girl and my son. And I said, I'm a mom, and it was dark. And he said, but I
Don't
told
use
you that
the
this was
mom
my
card
house. He
for
says,
this.
I was driving slow because I was looking at my Christmas lights.
Why were you walking around in the dark with your kids if it's such a dangerous neighborhood in your mind? To the point where you see headlights in a car slowing down behind you and you think you got to go to a stranger's house to call the police. Seriously, why are you even walking out with your kids at night then? This is just stupid. Obviously, it's a safe neighborhood, or else you wouldn't be walking around with your kids at night.
And once again, I said, I am so sorry. And they truly, they did not take my apology.
Good.
That night, I went home.
You don't
So
have
if
to.
you guys saw on Instagram, I shared the story twice. The only reason that I shared the story is because I was heartbroken and it was a really scary night. I've always shared everything on Instagram.
You fucking went on Instagram and shared it as a scary night story time? Wow. No wonder why you're getting canceled. Yeah, no, that was the nail in the coffin for you, wasn't it?
And so that night, after that whole instance happened, I literally was sitting on the steps, first of all, and John kept trying to talk to me. I kept telling him I was so sorry. And I've never, just the panic. I literally could not come down from this like fight or flight from the time that I was at the woman's house to literally 30 seconds later, telling the woman that I was just followed to the man stepping out on the front porch and it being his house. It was like all of these different emotions. And so I'm sitting at home, literally like having this meltdown. And I kept telling John, I was so sorry. Like I felt really stupid. And so on the way home, I forgot to say that the cop was driving around our neighborhood, and I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry. The cop was driving around our neighborhood, and I stopped him. We stopped him, and I jumped over, rolled the window down, and I said, I am so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was his house. It was a misunderstanding. I'm so sorry. He was like, it's okay. I'm glad everything's fine. I was like, yes, it's fine. So I ended up, we went home. And that night when I got home, I had tears and I was making a cup of coffee. And if you guys know me, I put everything on Instagram. I talk all the time. It was an innocent mistake. I felt really stupid. I absolutely was crushed I felt like they thought I was stupid. I already felt stupid. I truly felt stupid. Like I said to them on the porch, like I kept thinking like maybe this is his house. And then like I'm running and screaming at the top of my lungs. And so, yeah, like I felt dumb. for sure. So I went on Instagram
Good.
in my story. I still have it archived, and I like have tears, and I'm making a cup of coffee. And I said, I was like, man, you like talk about a night. I'm like, man, my night just completely took a left turn. And I was like, super scary. I was like, I'll have to fill you guys in later. So I went live that night. And then I went live again the next morning. And I have to tell you guys, I
You're an
have been
idiot.
on social media long enough to know that there's a lot of scrutiny. And so by me going live, I was very, I did not think that I was doing anything wrong. I was sharing the story of what happened, that better safe than sorry, how scary it was, just what I went through. Like, that's the only reason that I went live. At the end, I talked about how I felt stupid and how this couple, like twice I apologized and nothing came of it. And so, yeah, that crushed me. I did feel really stupid. So that is the story of that night. Many of you guys were on those lives, and so you guys know the exact emotions and state that I was in. So we are here. And it wasn't until about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little less.
This comment says here, he told you he lived there, and you said, I don't believe that. And we all know why you wouldn't believe that. Then started running, screaming for help. It was ridiculous, and I'm saying that as a woman. Don't walk with your kids at night thinking that you won't see cars or people, right? You were the one outside of his house acting crazy. She even said she was on a main road, too. Then crying to his wife that someone was chasing you when he wasn't, and she had to explain that he lives there. I hope you felt so dumb. Just apologize and say you were wrong. Stop making excuses. It's the fact that you are playing victim that is crazy to me. You lied about what happened, and they have it on video. Now think if the police believed you. Lies can kill people. Nobody was chasing her. Nobody was threatening her. She's afraid of black people. That's her problem. No matter if they are just pulling into their own driveway. I mean, literally, like, I haven't heard anything to make me believe she had a reason to be fearful at all. No part of this story is like, oh yeah, okay, if I was in that position, not one bit of it. Number one, if she had such a traumatic history of mean stalking, harassing, and attacking her, why would any mother that's doing her best to protect her babies take them for a run unnecessarily at dark alone? Thank you. Why did she exaggerate and post an IG live publicly talking about this event with the position of being the heroic mom? She boasted about her quick thinking while collecting revenue on her narrative of the scary man that was aggressive following her and her kids. Do you think the family should not have posted the video with audio to prove they are not aggressive monsters? Wow. Yeah, like the fact that she posted it to Instagram like that, it just, like, I can't. I just, fuck off, Karen. He said he only needed to say it was his home during her original apology. But when he did, she called him a liar and ran screaming at the top of her lungs. Should she be held accountable if the guy was attacked or shot after she started running away and screaming help the way she did? Overzealous protective neighbors or police on patrol could have made this ending horrible. Should that not be taken into account here? It definitely should, 100%. Especially with the way she ran away screaming that help. Wow. Like I said, that wasn't just like a help, help. No, that was her running down the road, screaming bloody murder at the top of her lungs. With children too, which, by the way, would probably make somebody that is into being a vigilante like show up even more if they see kids. Why should these people be forced to blindly apologize? She kept insisting during her first apology that they needed to see her point of view, while her husband tells her to get into the car and how he isn't going to argue with them after the guy asked what he did to make her scared of him. It was a sincere question as he stood there with his wife, young child, and little dog on the porch. Right? It's like his kid is out there also wondering why this crazy lady ran away from their house screaming help after his dad pulled into the driveway. But you want us to only care about your kids, the ones who you took out at nighttime to go for a jog, when apparently your man was home and could have watched them. You don't come off as apologetic in this video. It's giving, I'm just a victim. Thoughts and prayers to the family whose house this took place at. Thank God this story didn't end differently and that man is still alive. That was like one of the first things I thought was like, this could have had a way different ending with the way she ran away. She's lucky. If anything, she should be counting her fucking blessings.
That John was sitting in the living room and he called me the day prior, and he asked me a question about, did you ever say like, he said, did you tell the woman that he was black? And I said, no, I told her that I thought he was a young white man. He's like, I thought so. And I was like, that was really weird that he called and asked me that. So the next morning I was doing my morning reading, and he sits down in front of me and he's like, we have to talk. And so he told me that there had been a letter floating around our neighborhood that had been posted in our mailroom that had said something about a racist profiling in the neighborhood. And so, of course, you throw racism into the mix. It gets really yucky. And that was the furthest thing from what it was.
Well, then what was it, bitch? What was it? What was it? Sexism? You run away screaming from any man that talks to you out in public? Did you cheat on your husband? You're not allowed to talk to men or something? Like, what is it? Because this man didn't do anything. Especially for you to react to the point where you're running away screaming for help. Do you even try to say that he's aggressive? Why do you think he's aggressive? Because he's black? Fuck off.
Of literally, we have a handwritten letter from the woman's house that I went to. I'm trying to get the Ring doorbell footage of me standing on the porch telling John when he asked, are you sure it wasn't a black man? And I said, I think it is a young white man.
Wow.
But she wrote a letter. She was like, I'm happy to speak on your behalf. You absolutely told me that you thought it was a white man. And so we had 2 days in a row, the letter was posted in the mailroom saying that there was a racist profiling, not mentioning our name, but it was in reference to that night. It was taken down 2 times. And then I believe there was an email sent to our HOA then asking for this letter to be sent to all the residents in our community. And after a video was sent of me, they decided to not share.
Lady, they have to warn the whole neighborhood about you now. Because they don't know if you're going to go out here tomorrow, let's say, go for a walk with your kids and end up at somebody else's front porch, screaming and running away from them, claiming that they're following you. It's not even just about the racism. It's also about the fact that you apparently think that men in your neighborhood want to creep on you and they have to protect themselves from that. You can't just make up a situation in which you're the victim of men coming up on you and then get mad when people are like, yeah, stay away from her. She might get you arrested or shot.
Message to the whole neighborhood. And so maybe 4 days ago, both videos of me, praise God. The other one, the one of me apologizing, was posted as well, which I do appreciate the transparency there. But once again, the videos were posted in our neighborhood page, attaching racism and profiling to, my name wasn't said, but the video was very clear of me on the Ring doorbell with my daughter, with me looking at the man saying, is this your home? And he said, yes. And I said, I don't believe that it is. And because of those words came out of my mouth and because he was a black man, I have been pointed as being racist. Although it was very dark.
What? Bitch?
Yeah. So, and
I don't understand why you think that you can't see a black man in the dark. Why do you keep bringing up that it was dark? You were on a front porch where there was lighting, I'm sure. I don't understand. You're like, I didn't see him. You would have seen him. He pulled into his driveway and was going to walk into his house. I'm sure when you're saying to him, I don't believe you, he's probably getting out of his car door to show you that he lives there because he didn't realize you were about to scream like a banshee down the road, yelling for help. Oh, you don't believe me? Here, I'll show you. I'll literally walk up and open the fucking door. Lord, you didn't even give him a chance to prove it. That's the thing too. So it's okay, well, what happened in your head that made you go, this man does not live here. I know that for a fact, to the point where I should yell for help at the top of my lungs and run away.
I said, I truly, 60 seconds later, ran to the woman's house and I told her that I thought he was a younger white guy.
Oh my God.
So the neighborhood, yes, it was posted on the neighborhood page.
This is why you're apologizing. Just so you
I've had some neighbors who have been very, very gracious and have reached out to us, and they know that the integrity of my family, that is not who we are. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of other people who have kind of rallied behind what's happening. And so the page is crazy. There's been a lot happening within our neighborhood. The posts were taken down. I never requested the post to be taken down. I did go into our neighborhood Facebook page and I went live And I publicly apologized to the homeowner.
This person says, but wasn't he just asking you if you needed anything? Was he threatening you? You went up into someone else's driveway, so he asked if you needed anything or if you were looking for someone. Why not just answer him? That's the thing. I don't understand. And she's like, oh, because I thought that he was following me and it wasn't his house. Okay, but why? Because he slowed down and pulled into his own driveway? Maybe even after he saw you walking up to his driveway, he's like, what this lady doing here? She wants everyone to see this from her point of view, but it's like she refuses to see it from their point of view, you know? It's like, how do you think he feels pulling into his own driveway, having this weird lady be like, do you live here? I don't believe you live here. Help! Help! Like, that's insane. Imagine you pulling into your driveway and someone treating you like that at your own house. Like, come on.
Once again. And I will also, I try, like, truly, like, if there's anything that I can apologize for, I will.
What?
There was never racial intent. Ever.
What do you mean?
What I will apologize for is
Oh
sorry
my
for
God.
sharing the story of me being scared. I could absolutely be slower to speak. There was, I was truly just sharing the story. And so
No. See, you were still trying to paint it out like this man did something to put fear in you. And that's where you're fucking up. Because everyone's like, okay, but what did he do that made it so that you were like, oh yeah, this guy's a threat to me? And you can't just be like, oh, well, I'm a woman, he's a man, it's dark out. Because it's like, okay, but you're the one that went out alone in the dark with your children. So if you don't think that you can protect your children properly, if a man slows down on the road, why are you putting yourself and them in this danger then? Like, did you want something like this to happen? Were you hoping that it wasn't his house and something would happen so that you would have a story time? Like, what's going on here?
Sorry that I didn't necessarily think about your heart and the way that maybe could have hurt your heart, but it was never to the neighborhood. It was me just sharing the story about a man and being a woman and my babies and the whole thing. And if you guys don't know, because I think it's important to say it, there has been multiple instances where I have actually not these scenarios, but I've actually been pursued. And there was the man in Houston that I shared about as well. And that's
so you've had other men apparently pull up on you like this. So you're like, since other men pull up on me and prey on me, I think it would be a great idea if me and my two very young children went for a jog at night. I don't like going out at night because of my past. I don't like it. And if I go out at night, I carry something on me. That's how I protect myself. I don't understand your way of thinking and thinking that just because that happened, that it makes it okay for this situation. I don't get that. Because this situation, you're walking down a main road and headlights come on you. And you claim that that was what made you fearful. That doesn't make any sense. Why are you walking down a main road surprised that there's a car? Like, I'm just kind of like, what? What do you mean? Like, it didn't slow down until you were heading into its driveway. Like,
I just love to give context. I love to share. I just more so like as a mom, like in those lives, I said I wouldn't undo what I did. The way that I acted, the way I reacted, I would do it a million times over. Because what if
no,
that really would have happened? When I was in Houston,
no, fuck off with that shit.
I had a sex offender, a registered sex offender profile us. He knew where I lived. He knew what time my husband went to the gym. He knew what car my husband drives. And he came to my house when...
So you're going out in the dark with your kids. Are you looking for them? I mean, what? I just...
My husband was gone. And I was in Houston, Texas, and I was followed 20 minutes home, and my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was a little girl, we had a man banging on our door and helicopters hovering over our home. So, did I overreact? Yeah, maybe a little.
I just want to say, like, as a woman, as you keep bringing up you're a woman, you should realize that all of us have at least 2 situations like that ourselves. And by the way, to the general public, if you didn't know, every single woman in your life has had at least twice where she's been victimized by something like this. Every single one. Just to put that into perspective, people always wonder, why did they choose the bear? That's why. So you should know that every woman out here is walking around with a situation or 2 like that they've had in their past. And we're not acting like you. So that's not what it is. Fuck off with that.
But I showed up at the door and I said that I was sorry 2 times.
Oh, wow.
People are going as far as saying they're not genuine apologies, that I'm out to get them for whatever reason that is. I don't know how it could be twisted that way when I literally thought he was a white man.
Okay.
So I knew it wasn't going to stop there, but the Facebook page stuff was deleted. Not me ever asking for anything.
Like, okay, but are you just scared of all men? If your husband comes in the room right now, are you going to run down the street screaming for help?
Leave it to be deleted. I made a public apology to them through the video to a whole Facebook page of almost 500 residents in our neighborhood.
Wow, congrats.
And then I posted in the comments multiple times.
What humanitarian? Good for you.
Saying, like, disgusting and just tearing down our family's name. I once again came on and I said, if there's ever an opportunity to reconcile, like,
you tried to do a story time about their family and acted like the dad of the family was some threat to you when you were standing on his own front porch. What do you mean? Why are you playing victim? This is awful.
I will. I'm so sorry I could have ever offended you. And so I've absolutely apologized multiple times. It's not been accepted.
Oh my God.
So now I woke up today.
Oh no.
And John starts sending me screenshots of people.
Ain't that what we're actually all upset about?
Going on all of my social media channels.
It's a joke. Calm down. Don't cry.
I had to make my pages private. On one of the videos of us talking about opening our store, there were over 360 comments, some of which absolutely were from our members, but I would say over 300 of them within a 10-minute span were from people coming to absolutely attack us, saying anything and everything you can imagine, from hating on my faith, tying that to racism and me not being who I say I am, to my family, to be.
Are you in the U.S.? Do you not know what's going on there right now?
On a lookout, to our business is destroyed, to you can imagine everything that's being said. To our direct messages to my friends and members being messaged saying that I'm a racist, going as far as saying that I was trying to have a black man killed. That was commented a few times.
That's literally what it seems like. I mean, I don't know what other reason you would run away from a random man screaming, "Help me," like that. I really don't. Like, what was your goal with that? Then you even called the sheriff and told them not to come, as if you were hoping for some vigilantism to happen. Like, that's weird. It's like you knew that you actually weren't in a threatening situation. Huh? You just want a story time. Did it go bad?
Me personally, calling me a racist pig. Our direct messages, our other.
Okay, then you're a racist goat. Is that better? Bah, bitch.
Businesses, Crave is being attacked, and every business platform, my Facebook ratings.
Good. I hope
everything is being attacked right now.
I might do some of my own. Fuck you. Fuck you and your business. Racist, weird victim playing. This shit pisses me right off.
Everybody keeps asking for.
You want to know what one of my major triggers are? It's racism. It drives me insane.
A public apology, and I wanted to get ahead of it. I don't want to just stay quiet. But I did shut my pages to private.
Good. Stay private.
I explained to my Instagram exactly what I'm explaining to y'all. I absolutely am so sorry that I didn't think more of how they possibly could have felt in the moment and my reaction.
You're still not, apparently.
I'm not trying to play the victim.
Yeah, you are.
Very few people have truly said they can't, putting themselves in my shoes, and it does make me angry. Okay. It does, if I'm being completely honest, and I'm trying to be so slow to speak. And I have said multiple times how stupid I felt.
Good.
I even looked at him, like I said, when he came out on the porch. And I said, oh my gosh, this was your house. And I kept thinking to myself, what if this is his house?
Yeah, exactly.
But pulling up behind me, whether it's to look at your Christmas lights or not, I didn't know.
And that's the part that gets everyone too, is if the thought hit your head of what if this is his house, why would you then choose to still run away screaming for help like that? That's why people are saying that you tried to get a black man killed. Because it sounds like you saw that he was black, and even though you were like, oh, well, it could be his house, but oh, well, you went running like that, calling for help, as if to like try to get someone to come to your rescue. And what if the person that came to your rescue in that moment had a gun? And what if they ran over there thinking that he actually was a threat? Maybe they didn't know who lived in that house. And what if they shot him? See, you want everyone to have empathy for you because you're saying, I'm a woman. And so you have to think of how scared I am and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? That man's wife is a black woman. And they've probably been racial profiled before. Maybe even by the police, because it happens a lot. And maybe as women, we accuse men of not knowing what it's like to have to carry your keys in your hand at night because you're scared. Although most of us, if we feel that way, we don't take our young children out for a jog. But you know, you do you, girl. But you need to think about how they feel as black people who, at just one person yelling for help near them, it could result in their death. So if you want to play victim point oppression Olympics, they win, not you. And that's why people are so mad at you for this video. Because you're like, oh, well, have empathy for me and understand I'm a woman and blah, blah, blah. Understand that he's a black man. Understand that his wife is a black woman. And you can't just run out there yelling for help like that or even calling the fucking police down there. Like, what are you doing? That's not something to play around with. Okay, you got to think that that's an extra danger for them that you don't have to think about. And I'm white too, so I don't have to think about it either. But they do. Maybe you should take a second and find empathy for that and put yourself in their shoes. And imagine how fucking horrifying it would have been for him and his wife standing outside their own house while you're running away screaming, yelling for help. I bet you he fucking ran into his house so fucking fast, just like, fuck this, like, I gotta get inside. Like, you have no clue. And this conversation that you had with them was also in front of their child and your own children. What are you teaching your kids? Are you teaching your kids that they should run away from black men? Because that's, again, what it looks like right now. And that's insane. None of this makes any sense, and you're fucking crazy.
That all I knew was it was dark. I had my kids. You're talking to me. You're continuing to talk to me. Now you're backing in this driveway.
It's
and then when I asked if it was his house,
yeah,
he said, yeah. I didn't believe it at that point.
Why?
This was getting so awkward.
No, you keep saying it's getting awkward, but it's like you're the one that made it awkward, though. Like, you literally created this situation, made it awkward, and then you're blaming him for it. No, bitch, this is all you.
Continued to feel like I was getting pursued more and more.
What?
It had nothing to do with the color of his skin. He could have been.
Listen, then you need some therapy and some medication because you can't be going around in life always looking over your shoulder like that. Again, take it from someone that with severe PTSD, lifelong PTSD that I've had since childhood. If I lived like that, I would be a wreck like you. See, it's not good. You can't always be looking over your shoulder thinking everyone's out to get you, man.
Purple, orange, whatever. He was a man in a truck pursuing me.
No,
the tone of his voice was not welcoming or comforting at all.
He wasn't pursuing you, though. He was driving up the main road and then into his driveway. Again, you're not seeing this from his point of view. And then some weird lady and her kids are pulling up on his porch as he's pulling into his driveway. Like, what do you mean he's pursuing you? Again, it's not like he rolled down his window and fucking hollered woohoo at you and then you like ran into his driveway. This is what I mean. See, everyone's expecting for you to give us a reason why you were scared of this vehicle. But you're like, I was on the main road and I saw headlights and it scared me. And it's like, I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense. You're on the main road. Do cars not drive on the main road? Like, is that not what the road's for?
And so, yes, I panicked. Did I overreact?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Oh my God. Ew.
So.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my good. And you're some kind of coach that like teaches people how to, I'm already upset about that. Not only are you racist, but you just blew your nose into your shirt, into the collar of your shirt. Just throw the whole woman away.
I'll leave this here
Trash.
for you all to decide what you believe.
Oh, I've decided. Don't worry. You could delete it. We all have it. Oh my God. Turn off the camera.
I don't know if the owners will watch this or the people who have decided to come alongside them. I don't think I'm in a position of...
You really just switched it up there from sobbing all, well, I don't know, and wiping your tears away. That was a quick switch, girl.
trying to win hearts anymore. I've made many apologies and they weren't accepted. So I don't think it's
Wow.
an apology anymore.
Oh, now we're getting sanctimonious. Interesting. Yeah, well, we don't have to accept your dumb apologies that don't make any fucking sense and are really just excuses. And like in this one, you're just explaining to me why you don't think you should apologize anymore because you already did. It's like this. What is this?
But I just wanted you all to know that I am a lover of everyone.
You think while she was nodding there, she was like, yeah, this is it. Good job. I think I did good here.
I really am.
Okay.
And once again, I'm sorry for anything that I could have done to not hold your heart.
Mhm.
What a terrible situation and terrible timing. But that's what it all boils down to. Really terrible timing.
What?
And now it's just getting really, really ugly.
Is it timing? Is it because of the election?
I just wanted to make sure that this was put out there.
Did you vote for Trump, by the way? I'm just wondering.
Y'all being very sweet. Thanks.
You're an ugly crier.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, well, you're all fine now. You're welcome, I guess.
I just sit here and I'm like, man, is there like anything that I could say just to like make people drop it?
Exactly. That's all you want to do instead of
I
actually.
just don't think there is. I just think it's just gonna hang there for a minute.
See, this is your problem, though. You're just coming on here trying to say what will make people drop this instead of actually being sorry and realizing what you did wrong. So until that happens, I can assure you, not one person is going to drop this. Like, especially if you continue on down this road.
Thank you for giving your time to this, everybody. It's not y'all's issue at all. So I love you. If you guys start messaging me and stuff, the reason I'm not responding is we're supposed to be celebrating John's birthday today. So I'm going to try really hard to stay away from all of this. And
oh my God, it's your kid's birthday? And instead you felt the need to come on here. Okay, interesting.
be present with the kids because we've not been very present with them. My mind has been super tied up.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, no.
Okay.
You're really being present right now. Your mind's not tied up in other things other than your kid at all, no.
That's all. Thanks, everybody.
You're not welcome anymore. That was interesting. So apparently the police got involved after Jenkins and his wife made a report, but so far there's no developments on that. If there are, then I will let you know. They actually also went live and shared their story, their side. So I think it's important that we listen to them as well.
We're going to welcome DeMichael Jenkins. He's a seasoned real estate developer, investor, custom home designer, as well as chief operator officer and owner of 3D Vision. And unfortunately, Ocho, he was involved in a disgusting racial profiling act outside of his own home.
Yeah.
And so welcome, Mikey. Congratulations to your Buckeyes. Well done. I know you I'm surprised you ain't got on your Buckeye shirt. But congratulations to your Buckeyes to you. And I think that's your wife?
Yeah.
Congratulations, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. Mike, if you can go back, I know it was November and here we are in late January. If you can recount the events as you remember as vividly as you possibly can.
Yeah, I can remember. It wasn't too long ago. I was leaving one of my real estate job sites in the inner city, wrapping it up for the day. It was about 5:15. Took me about 45 minutes to get home. So
For me, the true star of this story is the wife coming out like she did.
proud to go home. Shannon, something I want you to know is when they say it's a affluent neighborhood, it's one of the most wealthiest neighborhoods in Ohio.
Wow, congrats.
And my house is the best house in the
That's what I'm
neighborhood
talking about.
because I
Come on now.
I designed it from scratch. I'm an architectural designer. I bought the land, I financed the land, designed it from scratch, and I built it from the ground up
I can see right now.
using all my resources. So proud to come home. I'm pulling up, checking out my Christmas lights we just put up for the holiday season. And there happens to be a lady in the driveway.
And I'm just kind of like, is she new to the neighborhood? Because it seems like they're well known in the neighborhood. Like, even when she said she went to this other lady's house to get saved, the lady was like, you know, it's a black couple that lives in that house. Was it a black guy that was talking to you? It's like, it actually is his house. I'm sure she was going to say that, you know? So it sounds like they're well known. I'm wondering if this woman's like, the white woman's new. Like, I wonder, is she new? Is that maybe like why she would know who lives there? I'm just trying to understand.
With 2 kids. So I don't think nothing of it. Kids coming in and out of my house all the time. I got kids, got a family over here. I don't think nothing of it. I think she's looking for the front door. I say, hey, are you looking for somebody? Mm-hmm. She doesn't answer. She then proceeds to go to the porch. So I'm like, okay, so she's probably coming over. So I pull in the driveway. I'm about to park, and she rings the doorbell and comes to the front of the front porch and stops me and says, do you live here? And I said, yeah, I live here. She said, well, I don't think so. So I said, well, what are you doing here?
Right?
She says, I don't think you live here. Picks the kid up, drops the stroller, hops off the porch, starts running, and I hear screaming, yelling for help. At that point, now I'm in fear.
Right.
I'm in fear because I know what we face as Black men in America. So I rush to the garage.
Right.
Park in the garage, come in the house. My wife's in the office. I said, back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she doesn't understand that she's the one that put them in fear. She's trying to be all like, oh, you should feel sorry for me because I was scared as a woman. But it's like, yeah, but you're the one that put yourself there in this position on his porch after apparently seeing his headlights on the main road and thinking that's weird, you know? It's like she's not thinking at all about what position she put them in. So frustrating. What's wrong with her?
Hey, some white Caucasian lady, she just jumped off our front porch, screaming, yelling for help. I don't know if she's gonna call the police. I'm pacing back and forth. I don't know what's about to happen. 6 p.m., regular day. We pacing back and forth. I don't, at this point, I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen. She comes back before the police gets here. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go outside with them outside. And the police pulls up. And I don't know what's going to pop off.
Wow.
Police pull up, altercation happen, anything could happen. Right. I know they're going to side with them. So my wife's come outside, and she just wants to figure out what's going on because she's in shock. And I'll let her say how she ended up coming outside or whatnot.
Okay, when he
came home and he said, you know,
comes out, she's like, well, what's she running from? Like, why is she running away? Are we all in danger? What's going on? And then he's like, I think she's running away from me. I don't know.
I was going to ask you. He comes into the house. He says, babe, there's a white lady standing on our porch. She's running, yelling, screaming. I don't know what this is about. And so what's going through your mind when he explains what he just encountered?
I was in my office working and I'm confused. I'm not understanding what's going on. Like, what do you mean there's a white woman running, screaming for help? Screaming for help for what? He's like, I don't know. And immediately my heart dropped. I'm like walking and pacing back and forth. Like, okay, just wait. Okay. Well, what happened? Nothing. I was just pulling in the house. And I'm like, what is she screaming for? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, are you,
I don't even think he noticed her until he realized that she was like on his porch, right? Like, and then he's like, why is this lady standing on my porch? Which anyone would have thought in this position. They would have all been like, I would have been like, why is this lady now on my porch? What's going on? It's like a completely normal thing. So he probably doesn't even realize until he's already in his driveway. Like, what's this lady doing here? But like in her head, she's created this whole story, Michelle, where it's like, oh no, he saw me on the road and then he was trying to follow me in the driveway. And it's like, you literally just made that up. Like, go get some help. Something's wrong.
What? And I keep opening up the door because I feel like the police is going to come here. Somebody is about to come here, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't even know what fully happened. I didn't hear anything. I'm in the house working.
So
and so I kept opening up the door, and that's when I came out.
So she did end up calling the police.
She did end up calling the police. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
so let me ask you a question. Now, this happened in November. The video just recently got released. What caused you guys to release? Because I'm glad this is on Ring camera. Because you're absolutely right. Had this not been captured on camera, on video, we already know the story that was going to be told and how it was going to be spun. But you guys had it on camera. What made you guys?
I would like to think, like, I don't know. Do I have too much faith in humanity? I'm kind of like, I would like to think that people would have believed the story, but then at the same time, I'm like, maybe they wouldn't have, but it wouldn't have been because of racism. It just would have been because Michelle's makes no fucking sense, you know? But I really want to believe that, like, the public would be on their side, the Jenkins side with this. No matter what, it's just, that's not the reality, especially since they're in the USA, and it's way different than it is here in Canada.
Guys finally decide to release it.
I'll just shut up now.
Well, I actually released the video in our community Facebook group. We have a community Facebook group, about 500 or so people, and ever since I've been like, we've been shattered, we've been upset, it's so many different factors and so many different feelings. Feelings. I put the video in our community Facebook group to share what happened. And it took a lot for me to do that.
Probably want to post the ring light camera up to warn other people, because like, you don't know what this girl's doing. You don't know what she's about. You don't know if she's about to do this to somebody else in future. Like, maybe just let people know, hey, if you see Michelle Bishop jogging at night with her kids, like, don't go near her. She might cause a big scene like this, you know? Like, that's a normal thing to want to warn people about in the neighborhood, in my mind.
And then we woke up and the videos everywhere.
You know what's funny? It's one thing to experience racial profiling in public. You know, in public, I'm sure we all have stories where it happens in that setting. But for it to happen in your own home, I mean, it can be unsettling. It could be uncomfortable, especially when it comes to a place that you call a place of peace. That we can all get away from, you know, from the outside world.
Yeah.
Has that affected your sense of security and trust in the neighbors? And have you reconciled in any way with the neighbor who caused these issues?
Of course, there's a lack of trust. Of course, it makes us feel unwelcome and unsafe. We have 2 boys, and he leads our family. He protects our family. So to know that we can't go walk the dog, or someone looking at us is what's going to happen. It's a lot of weight, it's a lot of pain, and it's a lot of emotion.
I can still.
And he's desensitized to this.
I still hear it in your voice.
So, of course, not once have we got, I thought the next day maybe there would be some flowers at the door saying, not once has this person reached out to us to give us a sincere apology.
Wait, whoa.
HOA.
I reached out to HOA immediately after it happened.
Nobody said anything?
Immediately after it happened, I reached out.
Wow.
HOA ghosted me.
Wow.
For lack of better words. But I was going to say it's a 90% or more of the neighborhood is predominantly Caucasian. So we're one of one Black families in the neighborhood.
Not a lot of culture.
And our house sits all the way in the back of the neighborhood, and the people ride by and take pictures every day. And there's a lot of publicity with our house. So it really was, it was shocking, but they stay to themselves in the neighborhood.
Let me ask you this. When you walk up and you ask, what can I help you with? And she says, is this your house? You say, yeah. And she says, I don't believe you. When someone tells you they're standing on your porch and they tell that's not their property, and they tell you that this is not your property, what went through your mind when someone is standing on your porch and they say, well, you don't live here?
Well, that's when I was battle tested as a black man, as a man.
Is this a situation because now she said, well, you have to see it from my point of view. No, I don't need to see anything from your point of view when you stand you know what, on my porch. But for her to say, well, you didn't say, well, I really live here. I live here. I don't have to identify myself. This is mine. Why do I have to tell you who I am when you standing on my property?
You're right.
It took everything out of me, you know, not to get out of character. And especially when they came back, you know, she brought her husband back. He was real standoffish. I was scared to go outside, but I sat on it. I was listening. I said, I can't let my wife sit out here with these people. What if the police pull up?
Right.
So, you know, I went outside and I just had to make my face known. And I had to let them know I do live here. A black man does live here. I did build this house from the ground up. I did design this house.
Yeah.
I had to show my face. And as soon as I came outside, you could tell they switched it all the way up. Let's get out of here. Let's go. They switched it all the way up.
When the police arrived, what did the police say? Okay, what was the side of the story that they told the police? And then what was the interaction once the authorities arrived?
Yeah.
I hid in the house. I didn't talk to the police. I'm not about to come out there with them. Those police might gun me down.
So you let your wife?
I hid in the house.
So you let your wife handle?
I let her handle that. She could
okay.
Stay.
What?
Yeah.
I made a report. I made a police report. It was emotional to make a police report because we all know what happens when you call the police. So I had to think to myself, do I go outside? It's dark. Do I let them come inside? Do I sit up? Do I stand down? Do I let my son? Do I let my son be stand here? How do I explain this to him? And even explaining and sharing that this lady racially profiled us. She ran from her house screaming. There's no telling what people can think. My son came home from work, who's 17, and said, "Mom, what if I was taking out the trash? What if she had a gun? What's going on? Why are the police here?"
No,
it's crazy.
I have nothing against their family, but I grew up dealing with this all the time. So we still have to live here. They live 2 streets over. We have to ride by each other's house. I'm okay with being cordial with riding by each other's house. I have no issue with them. The issue is getting to work.
I think she does owe you a real apology, though, and I don't think that that's been done yet. And for that to happen, that needs to be done. And she needs to just stop with the excuses.
Out here and letting my situation and what I've been through and what I've overcome be inspiring to people in the world, people that look like me. So that's the space I'm in. And I'm thankful for God because I didn't ask for her to show up on my porch. This is God's movement here. This is God telling me the people need to hear your story. You need to inspire. Yeah. You need to tell people what's going on and use this.
Silver lining.
So that hopefully this won't happen to the next person or the next person that comes across a Karen situation.
Right.
They will know how to control their emotions.
Yeah, because she's definitely a Karen.
Because us as black men, especially young black men, we struggle with that.
I'm just saying, I think that's a human thing. I think that emotions can get the best of all of us, especially when we're all young, you know?
I thought that moving into the most wealthiest neighborhood in Ohio, that this was the right thing to do. But maybe my focus needs to be building communities that's for us and by us. That's for us.
Can I ask you a question? You said something very interesting. You said she lives 2 streets up from you. So you mean to tell me she went 2 streets out of her way to try to find out who lived in this home? Not on your street, not on your block, not on your street, not on your block, not next to you. 2 streets.
It's 2 streets up, but she's all the way north. We're all the way south. It's multi-million-dollar houses back here. The lots are big, so it's 2 streets, but it's still, we could go 30 days, 60, 90 days without seeing each other.
So she went out of her way. Let me ask you this. She issued an apology. She also said that she reached out to you and tried to apologize multiple times, but she hasn't had a response from you. Has she did she try to apologize to you in person, or was it through this video that you guys have seen?
She has not tried to apologize to us in person, via phone, via knock at the door, via a phone call, via email.
See, I don't think the story that she does outside their house really counts, right? Like as a real apology. Because then she went home and did those Instagram story time videos. So
no, only the live videos.
Now, apparently, if we were to believe what the report says, that this woman has a history going back as far as 2018 of creating these situations and then making herself out to be a victim. Have you guys seen that? Have y'all seen any of those reports that's being circulated?
I have not seen that.
I have not seen.
Can I ask you this? I want to ask you this. Have you thought about, since your privacy, your security, have you thought about potentially even leaving that neighborhood and going elsewhere? Or you saying, nah, y'all not going to run us up out of our home?
100%. I've been in Ohio my whole life, and I faced racial discrimination at its highest peak. I'm a stereotype person, tattoos, dreadlocks, a man that's in the professional world, in the real estate development world, that you don't see too many minorities building multi-million-dollar homes. It doesn't happen here. So we 100% have thought about moving to another state, taking my talents elsewhere, building a community, to going places where we could be surrounded by more people that look like us.
Man. So let me ask you a question. What was your relationship with the neighborhood? Did you have any interaction with your neighbors, like to the left of you, in the front of you, to the back of you? What's the neighborhood like? I know you mentioned it's a very affluent neighborhood. There are wealthy people that live there. You mentioned $1 million homes. What's the relationship with you in the community other than with this said individual?
So it's the wealthiest neighborhood, and they got a saying that once you reach a certain tax bracket, race doesn't matter.
That's a lie.
So it's a lie, but people say that. People say that. So
apparently,
everybody out here, majority of people out here, they walk every day. They take pictures of our house. They say hi. You can ask people in the neighborhood. Those people are not friendly. They don't say hi. They don't take too many walks. They don't walk their dog. They stay in their house. They are standoffish. So the neighborhood is friendly, but I don't know about them.
She said something very interesting.
We participate in.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I was just going to say we participate in community events, and for the most part, the neighborhood is friendly. She posted videos after this happened, and the neighbors brought it to us because they put 2 and 2 together. So that's how we even found out that they knew about it.
Wow.
She mentioned to you, as you was walking up, you have to see her point of view. She's walking her kids. It's late at night. If you're that afraid, why are you out at night walking your kids if you're as afraid as you say you are? Did that cross your mind? Like, well, if you say you're afraid, why are you out here in the dark by yourself? You're married. Your husband's not with you, and you got a small child. So it can't be that dangerous. You can't be that fearful of your life if you choose at night to walk a child.
Right.
It's 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay. It gets dark early, but yeah, we thought about that.
She made it sound like it was 10 p.m. Like, until he just said it's 6 in the evening, I'm over here thinking it's 9-10 p.m. at night. Like, that's just ridiculous to me. It's 6 in the evening. She's acting like he had the right to be scared because it was like real late at night, It's a good thing they did this interview, man.
Of course. I wouldn't be outside walking with no.
Yeah.
No.
Wow, that was so eye-opening. I'm so glad that they went on there. I don't want to play the whole thing. I'll leave the link down below if you want to watch the whole thing. Go subscribe to this awesome channel. And I really do hope that I see this guy again. He sounds like he's really going to be building up the communities out there. And I'm kind of like, yeah, man, maybe if this will inspire you to do some good, take it. Do it. Always take every bad situation, every bad thing that happens, find the silver lining, try to turn it into something positive. And then if you can do that with everything in life, you're doing all right. That's what I fully believe. So, I mean, maybe something good can come out of this. You know, I'm a silver lining person. Let's take a minute and just get to know Michelle a little better, shall we, before we wrap this up? Oh, they're certified. Michelle Bishop, head coach and co-founder. That's her there. Michelle is a world-class ISSA certified elite trainer, as well as a certified ISSA personal trainer, ISSA nutritionalist, CNC, ISSA glutes training specialist, and AFPA certified prenatal and postpartum specialist located in Columbus, Ohio. The prenatal and postpartum part is a little worrisome, I will say that. She has been only studying nutrition, supplementation, and the human body for almost a decade. Michelle spent 4 years in the bodybuilding industry that was fueled by a prior eating disorder known as nighttime eating syndrome, NES. Michelle went on to compete as a national NPC women's physique competitor and dominated the stage for 4 years until she realized she was tired of being tied down to rigid training routines and strict meal plans. After a couple of years of studying herself, she studied herself and breaking the chains that diet culture once had on her. Michelle then went on to coach and mentor thousands of women to food freedom, self-love, and maximizing their time in a physical training aspect. Michelle is now the founder of The Ladies Edge, which was established December 17th, 2017. Since then, Michelle has touched over 15,000 women. Well, that's not good. Leave the women alone. Through her program, helping women love themselves where they are right now in the process of finding their undeniable confidence. Look at her. She's super confident. Michelle's mission is to help women break free from the lies and limitations that have been placed on them, both mentally and physically. Ain't that ironic? With an amazing culture and 23 minutes of high-intensity weight training, she is helping women acquire many things into their lives, one of which is time. Her belief is that health and fitness should fit around your life, not your life having to fit around health and fitness. What Michelle is known for mostly is her ability to connect with women in a raw, authentic way in a very filtered world. She wholeheartedly believes in her mission and shows up for a live workout every day with her community. Through the struggles of life, Michelle continues to enforce the Ladies' Edge manifesto and drive home the ending statement. We got rid of the pressure of having it all together. We get overwhelmed, but we don't quit. We get exhausted, but don't stop. We fight back when times get tough. We show up. I actually think that you run away screaming for help. All in all, Michelle is on the pursuit to impact the lives of women all around the world by sharing her personal story, struggles, and expertise with the goal of helping them become the best version of themselves, both mentally and physically. Themselves is allegedly 2 words. And that is Michelle Bishop, head coach and co-founder of The Ladies Edge. And also the Ohio woman accused of racial profiling who tried to apologize for it, but did a really shitty job. This incident has reignited discussions about racial bias and the dangers of unconscious prejudice, particularly in predominantly white neighborhoods. Many online pointed out how easily such situations could escalate, citing past cases where misunderstandings rooted in racism have ended tragically. Imagine if there was no Ring camera to show what really happened, one commenter wrote. This could have gone so wrong for him. For Jenkins, the incident may be over, but for many others, it's another chapter in the ongoing struggle for equality and understanding. And isn't that the truth? And I think that that is a good thing to remember here. Now, she's allegedly posted another video. Let me know if you want me to react to that one in future. But something happened that was kind of funny.
Can somebody please help me where these comments are coming from? It's not just this one. Like, how much do you make profiling people for their skin color? You out here looking for I was like, no. I've been getting a lot of these types of comments and I've been deleting them, but what? What I think it is that somebody either named Michelle or maybe somebody who's a bartender or somebody who looks like me said or did something, some viral, I don't know. And everybody's coming to my page thinking that it's me. I don't know where they're coming from.
The comment says, are you that racist woman that asked a black at his own home where he lives? A black? That sounds bad. I don't like that. But this is Michelle, the bartender, and she's kind of controversial in her own right. Apparently, she's been getting a lot of comments accusing her of being Michelle Bishop. They're not at all the same person, so do stop doing that. So leave this on kind of a funny note. I guess she's been getting bombarded with all these comments. Just know that they're not the same person. Not all white people look the same. I would love to know all of your thoughts about this down below. And let me know if in future you want me to do a live stream where we react to this Michelle Bishop some more. Not Michelle the bartender.
Everybody's coming to my page thinking that it's me.
Michelle Bishop. That Michelle Bishop woman obviously was being very racist and she needs to take accountability and apologize or just log off the internet. Thank you for sticking this one out with me, especially if you made it to the end. I love all your faces and I'll see you really soon with another one. Mwah! Bye!
Queen of Karma.